Awesome. All right, here, spawning at the top right corner of the map. Playing for Team Africa Freaks. Make some noise for stats. Spawning here at the bottom left corner of the map. Playing for the team of Good Game Gaming. Give it up for Patience. So both players are going to go ahead and send their probes at relatively the same time. It's going to go ahead and get a little bit of a scout in their opponent's base. So, you know, PvP. So PvP, of course, you know, the usual opening is to go for a 2 gateway opening. There are some maps where you can kind of get away with going for a 1 gate opening, a 1 gate into I think cybernetic and then Nexus, or at least a gateway into Nexus into cybernetic core. I think maybe Pillars of Gold is one of those maps where you can kind of get away with it. But on this map, I think it's a little bit harder just to get away with that. So usually you will see a 2 gate opening here to start off the game. Alright, where's that probe for? Okay, there we go. I was wondering where Patience probe was. But at the very least, a very decent scout by both players. Does see 2 pylons in the main base, so that's kind of indicates to them there's a less chance of a proxy out there. Now, not to say that there is definitely no proxy, because sometimes, you know, the Protoss will kind of fake it and go for a third pylon just to try to trick their opponent to thinking that it's going to be a normal opening. But yeah, this game around, pretty standard opening by both players. Now, both players are also going for oh, actually, never mind. It looks like Stats opening up with 4 Stalkers versus Patience, who's actually going for a 2 Adept into 2 Stalker opening. This first Adept does get scouted out. Will he let her finish? Actually does let her finish. Oh, interesting. He kind of shaded right on top of the Stalker, so I wasn't sure why he let that finish there. Kind of curious. But we do see a little bit of a cheeky play here. It looks like a kind of a... Either is a... maybe it's just to hide some tech, I would say. We also have another proxy pylon. So both players doing some nice little proxies here. Will be interesting to see what they proxy at their relative pylons there. But in the meantime, Patience, or Stats rather, gonna go ahead and put on a little bit of pressure. But with the shield battery there, Patience should be fine. Alright. Looks like it is gonna be just for a closer warp in for both players. Now we do see a little bit of a deviation though. Patience on the other hand, sorry, we'll be opening up with a Robo first, while Stats gonna be opening up with a Twilight Council. Oh boy, Stats Stalker's a little bit out of position here. So it's gonna allow these 2 Adepts to pick off 5 probes. At the same time, these 2 Adepts of Stats gonna go ahead and shade the bot in as well. Gonna pick himself 7 probes. Alright, nice little trade here for Stats. Now, definitely not game ending or anything like that. The worker count still relatively even. Actually, at this point, exactly even. So, wouldn't say it's a game ending or anything like that, but a little bit of some probes picked off here and there. We do see though that Patience is preparing for possibly a timing attack. You could see him kind of, you know, try to move out with these 2 Immortals. Got a lot of force fields here. Got even a proxy gateway for some faster warp-ins. So we're gonna see ourselves a little bit of pressure and attack very, very soon. Now the question is, does Stats seize this? I don't think he has yet. Hasn't sent out a hallucinated Phoenix, and it doesn't look like he is throwing down some shield batteries in anticipation. Actually, he's gonna not see this at all. And oh boy, things are looking quite scary here for Stats, especially with no shield battery. Some force fields are gonna go ahead and section off some of these units, but this is just not quite enough. And just like that, Patience just picks off the first game. Very, very unfortunate for Stats there. Wasn't able to get any vision of that move out. And yeah, in the best of 3 like this, every game is very, very important. So Patience gonna be already at match points. Stats gonna somehow, some way needs to win on this next map. Carl HK asking, where's the rest of Stats army? I don't think he had a lot actually to begin with. I think I think he sent some to either scout around, or he just wasn't able to anticipate the move out of Patience. I don't think so. He didn't really warp in a lot of units. Didn't even bother to build shield batteries, because, you know, again, why would you build shield batteries for something that you don't know that's coming, right? So yeah, a little bit unfortunate there for Stats. So let me go ahead and update the scoreboard, and here we go. Game number 2 here on the map of Romanticide LE. Spawning at the bottom right corner of the map. Hailing from Korea. Representing Team of Freaky Freaks. Make some noise for Stats. Little bit of Korean chatter. Unfortunately, I do not know Korean, so unable to translate. Maybe Inu will go ahead and translate for us. But in the meantime, here spawning at the top left is the red Protoss player, playing for the team of Good Game Gaming. Also hailing from Korea, it is Patience. Size Matters in the live chat saying, so my prediction is incorrect. Oh well. You know what? I wouldn't blame you for that prediction. I think my guess would have also been a 2-0 for Stats. But you know what? Again, like I said, Patience, one of those players that can pull off some upsets, similarly to Solar. Because you do have like the tier 1 Protosses out there, right? That you consider like Trap, Stats, and maybe Zest as well. But you don't really put Patience up there as well. He's kind of like in the tier 2 of Protosses, right behind those 3 Protosses. And so yeah, you wouldn't expect Patience to, of course, win both games, but he definitely has a chance right now. Alex Mir 89 in the chat saying, is Zest playing parallel game after this? Yesterday the first, okay, well, I know that Zest is playing a Terran after this. He's playing Dream, so I wouldn't say parallel, as it's not quite a PvP like on this first series, but yeah, he will be playing after this. Alright, so we don't have quite an expansion coming out of both players yet. I think they kind of have a sneaky suspicion that they're... Oh, actually, maybe he's just gonna go for a bit of a safety opening here. I mean, this map is, it kind of favors a little bit of aggression, just because the levels in the natural is on the same ground. So you can kind of move in with 4 stalkers. Oh, once again, Patience, interestingly, sending only 1 Adepts. Now, usually you will see like the Protoss player who opens up with 2 Adepts just kind of shade in with both their Adepts, because it takes 2 Adepts to one-shot probes. So very, very curious for Patience to open up with a... Oh, okay, I see what's happening. He opened up with only 1 Adept for some scout, then actually made a sentry behind it as well. So this is going to allow Patience to get a bit more extra sentry energy for things like hallucinated scouts or force fields. However, that does leave, of course, a little bit of a weaker army, because sentry is not the most power output unit out there. They don't do a ton of damage. Let's just say that. But Patience, he does have 2 shield batteries here to help out with this fight. So that's kind of allowing him to hold pretty strong. He has yet to use the shield battery overcharge. So even if these shield batteries kind of use up all their energy, he does have that as his trump card. Actually, no, he does have an extra shield battery at the top. As I guess he forgot to cancel that for the Adept Shade. Oh, actually does finish the Shade there. Shield battery momentarily blocking off the Immortals, but the Immortal finally takes it down. We'll go ahead and join up in the fight. And so far, pretty decent defense here. Only losing 2 probes. Now, stats is still a little bit ahead in the worker count, but the thing is, Patience does have the better tech. You only see now that the Twilight Council and the robotics facility is just going down here for stats. Patience on the other hand, he has gotten that robo for quite some time now. Has an Immortal, has even a Warp Prism, so that Warp Prism can definitely fly over there with some Adepts to go and harass, even up the worker counts. Now I'm pretty sure Stats did have a scout of that Warp Prism, so I was very curious why he has not kind of sent some of his units into the main base to defend. But that's going to allow Patience to get some, at least two worker kills there. At the same time, Patience doing a double prong attack here. Now he does have 2 Immortals. There's going to be some nice heavy firepower there. But on the other hand, Stats got 2 shield batteries. Nice force fields by both players, but Patience does have the Warp Prism advantage. Will be able to ferry some of his units, his weakened units, back to safety. A little bit of a tense moment here, because this might be this could be the breaking point for Patience. He's got the 3 Immortals, which is a lot more than what Stats has. He needs to hold on to at least get his first Immortal. You might want to go ahead and Chronos boost that if he has any energy. But Patience gonna have to be careful, because Blink has finished here for Stats, so he does have at least some micro potential. Alright, so far, Adept Shades does get cancelled here, although he did let some, at least 2, finish. But the real fight is here at the front gates. Shield battery overcharge does get activated, but immediately that gets focus fired down. Oh no! Just momentarily does not focus that completely, but he finally does so. A nice Warp Prism micro savings the injured Immortal, but the Blinker will get on top of the Immortals. All the Immortals has been cleaned up, but there are still a bunch of Stalkers still left over, and only 3 here. And all this time, these Adepts has been getting some really decent damage. 8 probes going down. So even if Stats does hold this off, I think Patience has done enough damage to warrant and call this attack a successful attack here. And some additional warpins might be the turning point, might be the finishing blow. A blink into focus fire on the War Prism, and the War Prism does get shot down. That means no more reinforcements, but that's okay because Patience just has too much on the ground and will surprisingly take the series 2-0.